Jai Sri Krishna. A very good morning to one and all. On behalf of Department of Corporate Secretaryship Day and Evening, myself Dr. K. Kalpana Devi, Head in Charge, Department of Corporate Secretaryship Evening, along with the IQAC of DG Vaishnav College, deem it a great honor to welcome our Principal, Captain Dr. S. Santosh Babu, and the distinguished speakers of the day, Mr. Gaurav Pingle and CA Dr. Gopal Krishna Raju. I extend a warm welcome to the faculties, research scholars, academicians, students, and all the participants to our national level faculty development program on the topic Holistic Approach to Skill-Based Higher Education to Face the New Normal, NEP 2020. Education is the most powerful weapon which can change the world. This was quoted by Nelson Mandela. It has been 34 years to reform our education policy, and we are present here to bring our views on this policy, how it affects our system, its impact on our future, and ultimately what kind of effect it will have on our society and in country's development. After this FDP, we would get a clear picture and use this policy to our advantage in shaping the future minds for the betterment of our country. Now, I humbly request our beloved principal, Captain Dr. S. Santosh Babu, to deliver the inaugural address.
Am I audible now? Is it okay? Good morning. Good morning. It's audible?
Sir, yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. You can continue, sir.
Okay. Good morning to one and all in this online webinar. On behalf of the Secretary of our DG Vaishnav College, I'd like to congratulate the team who are conducting the one-day national level faculty development program on holistic approach to skill-based higher education to face the new normal, NEP 2020. The head of the Department of Corporate Secretaryship, Dr. Prabha Rajagopalan, head in charge, evening, Kalpana Devi, our invited speaker, Mr. Gaurav Pingle, associate member, ICAC Pune, advisor and corporate trainer, CA Dr. Gopala Krishna Raju, chairman, valuation standard boards, K. Gopal Rao and Co., chartered accountant, faculty members, participants, experts from various places. This National Educational Policy 2020, which was introduced by the Government of India, is need of the hour. Our students have to compete with the international students, where the international universities have taken all these strategies, what was explained in the national education policies already, and they are moving ahead than Indian students. Because of that only, most of the youngsters from India is going abroad to do their UG higher education, whether it is UG program or master's program. Now, the strategy of Government of India have changed in such a way that we have taken holistic development of higher education in such a way that in restructuring the higher education policy, they have categorized the restructuring policy in various ways, whereas in the institutional restructuring and consolidation they are doing, they made NAC as a mandatory. Without NAC approval, you could not go for autonomy. And in that also, they are giving a weightage to the NAC score. If the NAC score is high, even autonomous college can run ODL program, open distance learning program. If you have necessary infrastructure and if you have a necessary setup like university, autonomous college will become a degree awarding university. This is going to happen. It is not too long. another 3 to 4 years or 5 years, this according to this national education policy. Like other foreign countries, if you go to other foreign countries, you can see a lot of universities with the graded universities, and based on the performance of the universities, the students used to join the university. And as of Vaishnava is concerned, we are moving ahead and we are doing well as an autonomous college to the society, and we are marching towards the university. And the second one is we should think about the multidisciplinary and transdisciplinary approach, which was in the NEP, where the student of economics can take subject from computer science or from physics. It's a transdisciplinary. It entirely disciplinary is changed, but they can do. In foreign countries, I know my friend, after completing his economics, she went to US and she did radiology. But it is India, it is not possible. When you start your career as an BA economics, you could not move to science field at all. So this happened in US, where she is working as a radiologist in US after completing BA economics from Pondicherry, and she did radiology and she is working there. So this is possible in the new educational policy. So we are giving a lot of opportunities to the learner people. Since our Indian way of education varies from other foreign countries, adapting this new education policy may be difficult. But in the long run, no other go, we have to do it. And we have to have a optimum learning environment and support for student also. That is assessment, what we are doing. At the end of the year, we assess and we'll give the marks. That's why today we are, during the pandemic situation, we are facing a problem. Our syllabi, our course content is not meant for open book system. It is meant only for closed book system and examination based. But according to the new education policy, there will be no final exams at all, where there will be a continuous evaluation system where the faculty will be in charge for each student, and he have to evaluate the student and he have to award the marks at the end to the students, where the faculty also will be trained to adapt to this system. And we are moving towards international standard. According to the international standard, we should not allow our Indian student to go to abroad to do their degree. We have to provide the same thing. And the people are telling that other foreign universities are going to come to India, so our Indian university will find very difficult to face it. They are telling, but it's not at all. Our base is very strong base. Our teachers are very good in teaching when you compare with other country faculties. Only thing, the paradigm shift in the minds of the teacher is to be changed. That's all. So that is also there. And the students should have a counseling. There should be given an hostel facilities like a student activity. And you know very well that when our people go to foreign countries, they will get a support from the university by way of giving a scholarship. That scholarship also will be provided to the student according to the talent. Then you have an inclusive education, value-based education, like that. This is national educational policy is having a lot of advantage for the students and also to the faculty. And when you go through the policies in detail, in order to follow the policy, it may be difficult for us. But once if you are able to adopt it, I think this will be the best one we will have for our society and also for the country. I'm happy to note that Department of Corporates, BCom Corporate Secretaryship, have taken this particular topic today, and they are going to have a threadbare discussion and analysis on this in this seminar. Once again, I like to congratulate the organizer for organizing this seminar. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for a grand opening. On behalf of Department of Corporate Secretaryship Day and Evening and IQAC of DG Vaishnav College, we express our sincere gratitude to our principal, Captain Dr. S. Santosh Babu, for accepting our invitation in such a short notice and supporting us in every possible way in spite of his busy schedule. Now I invite Dr. Prabha Rajagopalan, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Corporate Secretaryship Day 3, to deliver the preview of NEP 2020.
Namaste. Good morning to one and all. Higher education plays a vital role in the evolution of a nation. National Education Policy 2020 is a new and forward-looking visionary policy which envisages building capacities, skill sets, and values. It is a paradigm shift from the existing system, which results in rote learning and places more emphasis on exam-based performance. I'm sure the two distinguished speakers of today's faculty development program will delve into the nuances of National Education Policy 2020 and the future that lies ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for delivering a crisp and concise picture of the NEP 2020. Now I request Mr. D. Prem Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship, to introduce the speaker for session 1.
Hello, good morning all. With great pride and honor, we welcome CAS Mr. Gaurav Pingle, Associate Member ICSI Pune. He has been graduated in commerce and has 11 years of practice and industry experience. He is being advising on business setup in India on a core company law matters from day to day, compliance advisory, transaction advisory, foreign exchange management laws, SEBI listing regulations and securities laws for domestic, multinational and listed companies. He is frequently consulted by corporate compliance officers regarding company secretaries, lawyers, and chartered accountants on critical corporate law matters and interpretation issues in corporate and securities laws. Mr. Gaurav has authored books on Companies Act 2017 and related party transactions, which were all well received by the readers. Virtual meetings is a recent addition to his publications. As an avid researcher, he rigorously authors articles and dedicated columns on the current case laws, latest happenings in corporate laws, and articulates his views which are published in leading professional and business journals. Many of his articles are bagged the Best Article Award. He also conducts internal training programs and workshops for companies, law firms, CA firms, and CS firms on topics relating to corporate laws and corporate governance. Having a flair in teaching, he has been visiting faculty for company law and investment and securities laws at ILS Law College, Pune, for 4 years by now. He is also a visiting faculty at various colleges in Bangalore, Mangalore, and Udupi. He had been invited to participate and address much more number of conferences, seminars, workshops, study circle meetings, and training workshops conducted by ICSI, ICAI, and many law colleges throughout India. Presently, he is a managing committee member at Pune chapter of ICSI. Now, over to Mr. Gaurav Pingle on his wonderful, right, and enriching presentation. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you very much, Prem Kumar sir, and the college for the invitation. I welcome all to the one-day national level faculty development program on holistic approach to the skill-based higher education to face the new normal, new education policy 2020. I will be speaking on the perspective of facilitators and students and Gopal Krishna Raju sir will be discussing on the role of institutions and parents in the national education policy. I would like to thank DG Vaishnav College, Chennai, for the invitation. I would like to thank the principal, Dr. S. Santosh Babu sir, Dr. Prabha Rajagopalan ma'am, head of department, Dr. Rajachitra ma'am, Dr. K. Kalpana Devi ma'am, and T. Augustine Arul Prasad sir, coordinator for AQAC. So I thank you, and it is my actually honor and privilege to present before the audience on this particular innovative topic and a very interesting topic for the all the faculties who are present today and the students as well. Before going to the topic, just quickly, since this is a Chennai-based college, it is actually my you can say a privilege that I'm presenting before you all because I have you can say my idols in Chennai, whom I actually look up to. Very recently, I had an interaction with senior advocate Arvind Datar on my book on virtual meetings, and he has been my idol in the law profession as well as the teaching profession as well as the writing aspects or books. I am also a great fan of Dr. Subramaniam Swamy. So he is also from Chennai. And basically, I feel that Chennai or Tamil Nadu is a place where in all over India, wherever I interact with professionals, means the corporate professionals, company secretary or chartered accountant, I see most of them based somewhere in Tamil Nadu or has some connection in Tamil Nadu. So it is my privilege that I'm virtually participating in Chennai in this seminar. So thank you very much, college, for this opportunity. This is I would present a PowerPoint presentation, the presentation for today. I have tried my best to make it practical, though in the PPT I will be mentioning some things which are which may be probably just 1 minute. I'm just opening the PPT. So in the presentation, there could be some reference of there can be some reference of a policy content, but I will be ensuring that the whatever I discuss, it will be more practical and it will be helpful for the participants. Just can maybe one of the organizers help me whether the presentation is visible, though I have shared the screen, so that I can proceed and there is no technical issue. Uh, is the presentation visible?
Sir, presentation is visible, sir. You can proceed. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, yeah. Just yeah. So basically, my intention of this presentation, you can say this is a brief introduction, and as rightly pointed out by the principal and the head of department, the introduction to the NEP has already been given. I would like to quickly come to the point that basically this policy is divided into two parts. First part relates to the primary education, and second part relates to the higher education. If you see the policy, there is a lot of emphasis given on the primary education, schooling, basically. And there is, I mean, to say in comparison to the primary education, not lot of emphasis is given on the higher education. But there have been some recent changes, and there has been some major changes which will affect, you can say, the students and the teachers, the professionals, and also the colleges in ensuring that the setup is there for the students. So this is just a brief background as compared to this. And the intention and the motive of this particular policy is very very obvious, that they want to bring in an education system, as rightly pointed out by the principal, an international based education system, but to our main ethos and ethics and the Indian tradition, that we are not losing on to, because if we read the policy, there is a reference of very old universities and colleges and the our Vedas. So there is a lot of reference to all this. So we are not moving away from that. In fact, we are going back to our roots and making it more strong. That is what I feel as the policy. So the key takeaways from the presentation, as I will be focusing on the facilitators and students, my objective is that the way we open up for this particular policy. And when I say when we open up, I mean that how we open our mindset, how we change our teaching style, how we improve our skills, how we accustom ourselves to the new challenges, because we have been doing in this COVID time. But now post COVID, or once we accept that the situation has improved, how what will be the situation after that, and how we will be transforming, because practically whatever we are going through now is a drastic change, right from March. What we experienced till 20th of March, and what we will be experiencing after in the next year, 20th March 2021, it will be completely different. It may be in the form of our lifestyle, our education, our communication, our dealing with students. So we have to get accustomed to, and we are in that process. So that is what. So that is what is there. So since I accept that I am quite young for this presentation, but I have been a visiting faculty at quite a few colleges, and since I am a visiting faculty, and not a full-time faculty, I have seen things of different colleges at different point and at a different level, and with different students. So since you can say, as a non-executive director in a company, I'm a non-executive director in say 3-4 colleges, and since I'm a non-executive director, I can use this experience in another college, and that is how I will try to try to understand this particular policy. So I am a student, I'm a maybe a visiting faculty, and I'm a full-time practitioner, but I will try to ensure that how if at all, when we say that the skill set of the student is to be improved, okay, at that point of time we have to ensure that he engages with a professional. So I will be at that point of time stepping in the shoes of a professional. What do I expect from a student? Okay, if I say that if I'm a faculty in a college, then what do I expect from the student at that point of time, right? And if I am a student, then what do I expect from the college, and what do I expect from the professional? So basically I'm stepping into shoes of all the people and then giving a presentation, and that is only the key takeaway of the today's presentation. Yeah. So since just a brief background about the what they have mentioned in the what the government has mentioned in the policy. So this forms the basis of our knowledge and innovation. So our primary education gives our base. It gives a base or foundation to our creativity and thought process, and we capitalize on our thought process and creativity and innovation when we are in the higher education, maybe after 10th or 11th, which is there proposed in the NEP. So creating opportunities for individual employment. So if we see this aspect, when they say individual employment, probably the education policy is focusing indirectly or directly on the entrepreneurship. That is also very important. I'll just read out the second point. It says the higher quality education is more than creation of greater opportunities for individual employment. So when it says individual employment, basically probably is what I feel is that they're promoting entrepreneurship. And for entrepreneurship, in my view, there are only two things. First is creativity, and second is risk-taking ability. So through this kind of education policy, they are proposing to students have that kind of creativity, and they get the qualities of taking risk, calculated risk at certain point of time. It represents more of vibrant, socially engaged, cooperative communities. So this is the part of the policy. Yeah, this aspect is more of the institution, but I will be dealing it in just quick, and what the principal has also mentioned in his address. is that the thrust of the education policy or the higher education is to transform higher education institutions into large multidisciplinary universities and colleges. So, a holistic way in which higher education can be provided. So, he mentioned about the hostels, he mentioned about all the facilities. So, once a student gets into the hostel, he need not go out in any ways. That is what this proposes in terms of education. This will require a change in the infrastructure, it will require some change in its internal facilities, it will require change in its administrative setup. So that is all proposed, but this is something from the institution perspective. But this is a very important aspect. Like, for example, when it says large multidisciplinary universities, it actually means that if there is one university, then it will be providing many subjects, many streams, and many avenues for the students to learn. Because as rightly mentioned in the policy, a student can cross learn quite a few subjects. So if he's opted for economics, he can opt for you can say a drama, or so that is how it is proposed. And therefore it is saying that basically they are saying that now think big in terms of the education setup that will be there. So there could be knowledge hubs or clusters or higher education institutes or colleges. So they are proposing to have that every college has got at least 3000 or more students. So the policy proposes that we think in a very macro manner, in a very global manner, and that is how we need to take it forward. Yes, I understand from a college perspective there could be some structural changes, and this may be there in the phased manner, but this is what the policy proposes. Yeah. So it says large multidisciplinary universities and colleges will facilitate the move towards high quality, holistic, and multidisciplinary education. The crux of this is the flexibility in the curriculum. This is the crux of the policy, and this goes directly on the faculty. So what is the present situation is that there is a portion or a syllabus prescribed by the university or the college, and that portion or the syllabus is taught by the faculty to the students. It may happen that a law has changed, it may happen that a technology has evolved, it may happen that a particular concept has become redundant, but that practically doesn't matter to the student because it is part of a syllabus. Now, what is going to happen in this present NEP is that the curriculum will be designed by the faculty. They have not mentioned which faculty, but I think so. Whoever is the faculty, whether a visiting faculty or that is not the criteria, but basically it is flexible. So now the onus is on the faculty to design, and for the faculty to design, there is a requirement that the faculty is in connect with the industry, so that he knows what the industry requires. To give you an example, if this is a college, say an aviation college, or there is a subject on aviation, then the faculty of that subject should be well connected to the people in that industry. If it is a subject on agriculture, then he should be connected to that, to the main people who are in agriculture. It may be you can say from a farmer level to the person who is who is having his own company, a setup, distribution, marketing. So he needs to be connected, because when he's teaching agriculture, he also needs to lay some emphasis on the supply chain management, right? He needs to lay some emphasis on the logistics, he needs to lay some emphasis on the seasonal crops. So what I mean to say is that the role of faculty is going to dynamically change before he starts teaching. So today, like for today, it is NEP. That topic is already given to me. I know the document. I have accessed the document, and I'm giving a presentation. But if I was told that draft the NEP, then I have to think a lot that how do I how do I bring this particular topic and make it more global and make it impactful. That is what I'm going to do the very next aspect. So I'll give you a few examples. We are since there could be few faculties from the corporate secretaryship department, and I being a company secretary, I am in interaction with quite a few law colleges, chartered accountants, company secretary students, and professionals. So there are subjects which are taught which are a bit redundant. Like, for example, a topic like liquidation under Companies Act 1956, liquidation under the Companies Act 2013, right? And sometimes we don't teach them insolvency and bankruptcy law, right? So, if at all we have to make a flexible curriculum, we need to see what is the present status and what is required in the market, so that the students will be, ready-made products when they are graduates. So therefore, this flexibility in curriculum is one of the very important aspects for the faculty to have. Like, there are quite a few subjects. Like, I'll give you, suppose I was a faculty in a college in Pune Symbiosis, and I taught them telecom law. And telecom law is a very complex law. But when I was teaching telecom law, I was teaching them the AGR issue, which, very recently the Supreme Court ruled on. Then I also taught them the insolvency and bankruptcy law. Then I also gave them some idea about GST. And then I interconnected the GST, IBC, and telecom law. And that is how I myself decided that, I should take few lectures on entrepreneurship, because quite a few students start their own IT company and they're not aware of the legal technicality. So when you are given a particular subject, you have to see it from the present perspective, right? I will also emphasize on the second point, which says, engaging course option, right? And since most of them are the faculties or professors, engaging student in the present time is very, very difficult. Engaging student 15 years back was very easy, right? The reason is because presently we are bombarded with social media, we are bombarded with technology, and this technology is not used in the most effective manner. Is my personal observation, maybe you can also see. So how do we make this technology engaging, right? So to give you some examples, since most of the students are on Facebook or WhatsApp, generally, I'm not criticizing them, but that has become the trend, or maybe any social media like LinkedIn. Or what I've done is, I have created groups, and I have started posting on a daily basis some 2 3 important news items that they need to read it, so that they connect to the subject. So if I'm teaching them securities law or investment law, then I'll be keep posting them at least one or two news in a day, which is relevant to the subject, right? And I've got few web pages where they need to subscribe, and these days everybody goes and subscribes. So what I mean to say is that when I keep posting these news on a regular basis, the interest of the student starts developing, and that is how they start getting engaged in the course, right? So I know that, I promoting Facebook for students is not a great thing, but I have observed that students are that ways only. Means, if I tell them that, you download one app and you download Business Standard, Economic Times, nobody will download on voluntarily. But if I tell them to, go to Facebook and check this, then they will be more than happy to do that. So I download the app and I put it on that page, right? So that is how we need to make this more engaging. So what will happen is that the student will be having academic knowledge, the student will be having the business knowledge, at least through the newspapers, at least through the research papers, at least through some medium through which they can get updated. So therefore, what I feel is that we have to bring in some engaging options to offer the students. This is challenging, and probably I feel that we would be doing this when as a part of our extracurricular activity, but now we have to do it as our routine activity, and it is quite important for us to mold. And this is what actually is, going into the new normal, right? So first is understanding student psychology, understanding where they are socially and secondly is putting our content so that they read the relevant content. So in my personal view, social media is not a very great thing, it is a disruption, but we have to get all the people on track, so that the education policy and our future as a country is more secured. Because if everybody goes on social media and keeps posting, that will not be a correct thing. So I ensure that I post relevant content, and I post the content which inspires my student to read that subject, right? They should be more inspired than me to go through that. And I'll give you a few examples. Just I may be going a bit from the topic, but a very relevant thing, that if at all I post that in the NCLT, National Compiler Tribunal, this case has taken place and the case has been appealed, right? And the NCLAT, the appellate tribunal, has ruled something. Then you will not imagine, when I posted something on the NCLT on social media, I tell students, don't read that. If you are more interested, go to the NCLT website, download the order and read that order. Once it goes to the NCLAT, you can read the newspaper item, but go back to the judgment copy and read that. You will not imagine, if a student is very, very interested in the NCLT order, and when it goes to the appellate authority and the order is passed there, the student will go there before me, read the order, call me up and say, sir, aisa aisa hua hai. So this is what is the outcome of that particular. And I think, sir, there is something in the newspaper that has come. You can post it on our Facebook page, or your website or whatever. What I mean to say is that this is how the interest gets created, and we need to do that. Please don't misunderstand. I'm not promoting any social media, but I'm just telling you how we need to bring the engagement of students. It could be, you can say, a group that is formed, a system that is formed in the college, where students can access a particular email or a system and get all the updates. That is all possible. So what I suggest is, we have to develop, or we have to change in that manner. Now, I'm also aware that there are some senior faculties, and senior faculties are not that very accustomed to social media, and they prefer to read, newspapers, books, and they may not prefer to go on the social media and read that, because they may not feel it appropriate. So what I suggest is that you can engage one or two students. You can tell them that find this on the internet and put it on our page, and that is how you can do it. But I feel that that is going to be the new normal, other than the COVID-19, the normal. Yeah. So the pedagogy is also going to change. We will have an increased emphasis on the communication, discussion, debate, research, and that is what I'm telling you. Once you put it somewhere on a common platform and they start reading that, then you can tell them that I had posted this on 7 days back. You can read that. You can read the relevant material, and let's have a debate in the class, right? I will give you one example. This Tata Mistri dispute which is going on, I have been tracking on right from the board meeting till the Supreme Court, and I have given quite a few lectures on this corporate governance. Nothing specific to Tata, nothing specific to Mistri, but I have considered this A and B as a case study, and I have discussed this. But you will not imagine the interest that is created in that subject for the students is enormous. And you will not imagine, some and then I create a moot court kind of a competition, right? Who is going to defend one group, who is going to defend another group, right? And they go and read laws, they go and do that. So we have to engage these, communication, discussion, debate, research, and this is how it should be there, right? And just to again clarify, there is nothing against Tatas or Mistri, nothing against any specific person, but taking this as a case study, how we can ensure, right? Because ultimately our students are going to represent the industry, our students are going to be entrepreneurs, our students are going to understand the technicalities, they are going to be consultants, they are going to be lawyers, advocates, chartered accountants, company secretaries. So they are going to represent, and what as a teacher that we can do is that we can sow something where the fruits are much better after a few years when they are in the industry. So we need to inculcate the debate, research, and all. Yeah. So it says that institutions and faculty will have an autonomy to innovate in the matters of curriculum, and ODL, which sir was mentioning, and also the traditional in-mode class. The curriculum and pedagogy will be designed by the institutions and motivated faculty to ensure stimulating and engaging learning for all the students, and continuous formative assessment will be used to further the goals of each program. So what I'm observing is that these are all copy paste or some extracts of the policy. But what I mean to say is that this what I'm reading is all which is part of the policy. But what common factor I feel is the engaging factor in all the paragraphs, whichever is mentioned in the last two slides. So I will give you one more example. In the US or the UK, these are since the developed countries, the law has also developed over there. Corporate governance practices is also developed over there. And there are quite a few healthy debates and detailed debates, research oriented debates that take place in these countries. And now in the recent times, I have observed that they have started uploading on the YouTube, on their YouTube channel, the college YouTube channel, and it's open for all. So what I do is that if today I have taught one topic on corporate governance, which is say example family owned business or women director, or I talk about independent director, then what I do is after I've discussed that particular topic, I go to that something like UK based university or a US based university's YouTube channel. I myself invest around 1 hour or 2 hours in finding out the relevant video, relevant speaker, relevant topic, and then I share it with the students so that if I am teaching the local law or the Indian law, they will get a global perspective on that day also. So it becomes a exercise for me. Then what I do is the next day or in the next week, I tell them that there will be two students who will be debating on the Indian perspective and the global perspective. Where is Indian law more than the global law, and where is the global law more than the Indian law? So this is how we need to do it for engineering also, or for agriculture also. And we need to find out good content, engaging content, right? So that they read, they listen, and these basic skills are there. uh, all said and done, we must always try to tell the students to read the most, and we should not promote a lot of YouTube and social media, but you should give them good books, good ebooks, or in some way or the other. So because ultimately reading is going to develop the person, so we cannot stop him from reading, and we need to develop that habit of reading. Because in the policy also there is a reference of research, and research has been given a lot of emphasis. And since there is an emphasis on research, the only outcome of, or the only way in which research can be it can come out is reading or writing, right? So, and writing also is an output of reading. So we have to promote a lot of reading, good content reading, and that will be helpful for the students as well. So what I'm again coming back to is that we focus on the creative mind of the student, right? We are not telling him to study something which is there in the bare text, and that is only the conclusive thing. You are telling him to explore. We are telling him, I am giving you one book, you recommend me one book. So if we have got 50 students, as a faculty will get 50 recommendations, right? So just imagine how much burden we will be um, with a lot of content, and we will be more ready for the next batch. Yeah, so it should be relevant, interesting, the curriculum, and we should align it with the latest knowledge requirements and to meet the specific learning outcomes. So high quality pedagogy is then necessary. So this we have all discussed. I'm just mentioning this because it is part of our discussion. Assessment methods will change. Assessment techniques will change. It may happen that we may have 25 marks for subtopics like presentation, debate, writing skills, and maybe one MCQ. That may be the way. Or you can have quite a few combinations in the assessment methodology also. So this will change, and when we are setting up four kind of papers, we as a faculty also change, because we don't see the law from a very not just from a law perspective. We think it, how it will be in the form of MCQs, what will be the right debate, what will be the topic of debate. And if we say debate, there will be 20 groups, so you have to find out 20 debating groups or 20 debating topics. and it will be more challenging, right? So, and that should ultimately be engaging. So just imagine how much, how much we have to go back to the books and make it relevant for the students. I hope I'm not, bombarding with lot of things, but I'm just telling you what will be the new normal is what I understand from this particular policy. Yeah, so they are also saying that ODL and the online education provide a natural path to increase access to the high quality education. Yeah. Yes, just before going to this particular slide, I would also like to mention, means because I am also not a very computer person, or I'm also not very much app driven. I will not download many apps. But what I have observed, or what I did for at least last 5 to 7 years, and probably even today, just before the lockdown, I was doing that activity. I subscribed for quite a few business newspapers, and since I am in business law or corporate law or securities law, I used to cut the newspaper, the relevant news item, and I used to paste it depending on the topic or depending on the date of the news, right? And I have around 3 4 books of that news, A4 full scape books where the news is there. And whenever I go to classes, because earlier I was, since I didn't have an access to an app and all, I used to give that book to the students at the start of the syllabus, and I used to tell the students, anybody interested, read these and come to the class, means, or you can keep this book for 2 3 months, and whenever you find the news, you only update that book, right? So that created a lot of interest. So that is how we need to do this in the particular, once the college starts, or once the new normal we kick in practically, and we work under the NEP. I think, yeah, just some more time, just maybe 5 10 minutes. Oh yeah, then it says about the stress and the emotional adjustments. So we should, as a this may be from the institutional perspective, which Gopal sir will consider it. But I would just like to mention that some structural changes would be required for us. Sorry, I'm not a bit well. I'm not a bit unwell, so I'm drinking a water, but I'm all good. So no worries, nothing about COVID or all. With God's grace. Yeah. There is also a reference to the financial assistance to the students and also to the National Scholarship Portal. They are proposing to enhance and expand the scope of it. Basic infrastructure and facilities for faculty. This is very important for us. It says about the basic infrastructure and facilities, which is given in the first para. Classroom will have to assess the latest educational technology that enables better learning experience. I have seen in the present new normal that quite a few faculties still go to the college and teach from, means the class obviously is, there is nobody in the class, but he or she sits in the class in that particular chair. There is a blackboard behind it, and from the laptop they teach what is there. So we have to develop the technology. So again, the infrastructure is going to change. There is a cost factor to that as well, but that is good aspect. I had been to few one or two private colleges, and I had observed that there is a whiteboard over here and there is a PPT board over there. So it is a huge setup for the college also. So that is how some colleges are designed. I'm not very accustomed to this architectural aspect, but I really appreciate in which the colleges take such kind of efforts for the students and the faculty. Teaching duties also will not be excessive, so there will be a change in the student teacher ratio, and so that there will be a smaller batch is what probably they propose to say, and faculties will be appointed to the individual institutions and not generally transferable across institutions. So that could be one aspect. So there will be a freedom that we already discussed on that aspect. So we have to develop the reading material. So this is again coming back to the reading material. So if you are going to develop a subject for commerce, and in the commerce you have we are going to have an organization commerce or OC which is there, or a CSP which is company secretarial practice, or in agriculture you are going to have logistics, or in aviation we are going to have some kind of a technical topic, or in engineering there is a particular innovation, or how you can integrate the Arogya Setu app and the testing functions and the attendance and everything, then probably we need to have a different kind of a reading material for the students. We need to design it. We need to go it on the authentic websites and get the reading material for the students. So I think so. Innovation is what they say, empowering the faculty to conduct innovative teaching, research, and services. As they see, they will be the key motivators. So this is a very important aspect, and we need to innovate to bring innovative teaching. That is one aspect. Yeah. So excellent faculties with high academic and research and service credentials, they will be trained for the ladder of the leadership position. So this is something from the non-teaching perspective, but a very relevant aspect. There will not be many positions vacant, is what they are saying, and we need to bring in institutional leaders in this particular domain. Yeah, one more important aspect is that as teachers, there will be a continuous professional development for teachers. So how we have got this faculty development program, there will be a continuous education program or continuous professional education for the teachers. So it may happen that this can be a global exercise, or a you can say a local exercise, or a India national exercise. How we have got the present webinar, so a national faculty development program. So in the similar manner, it can take place maybe in person or in through technology, and we learn quite a few things as a teacher, and we bring in more. So there could be a requirement. Just to give you an example, all the commerce professionals, chartered accountants, company secretaries, cost accountants, their own institute have got some structured and unstructured programs, and every professional is required to do some 20 hours program, and the 20 hour in which 8 hours are unstructured and 12 hours are structured. So what is unstructured is writing articles and all, researching published papers, writing in newspapers, and the structured is attending programs, webinars, seminars, giving lectures. So these are all structured. So something will be designed for the teachers. Writing books, research papers will also be part of it. So this will be one aspect, and I feel quite a few colleges do that. One thing which I have observed just after reading this policy is that whatever we were doing extracurricular activities will no more be extracurricular. It will be a normal curricular activity. So just for the purpose of example, if we are inviting, industry, industrialist or people from the industry for lectures in the college, then this is a extracurricular activity, because we used to get only one faculty in a month or once in 2 months. Now we have to get it on a regular basis, and we have to connect the industry to the college, right? So students get a good connect to them. We also connect to them as teachers, and there is nothing extracurricular. New normal is nothing but the extracurricular activities being the normal curricular activities. Yeah. So just as we discussed, there was I was given an information by ma'am that we can have question answers together. I hope I have given adequate justice to the time that has been allocated, and we can maybe I will stop, and we can have the next session by sir. So thank you, participants. Though I was not able to see all, and discuss with you all, it was definitely a very engaging session. And very frankly, this is my first session on a very on a non-technical topic for me, because though I read policies, I have not given a lecture on the NEP. This was my first lecture on NEP, and I was well informed about it. Around 2 weeks notice was given, so I read it quite a few times, and just to ensure that it was relevant. So I thank all the participants. I thank all the I thank the college team for inviting me. We can take the questions collectively.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insights about the NEP on the perspective of facultator and student. Question answers, we'll take it at the end, sir. Dear participant, there will be a poll conducted now on behalf of the IQAC cell of DG Vaishnav College. Now I request Dr. T. Agustin Arul Prasad, IQAC coordinator of DG Vaishnav College, to take over the session. Agustin, sir, you're live.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, participants. We had a wonderful presentation by the speaker. And as we all know, we are into this new education policy, and we are about to explore more on this new education policy. And based on the inputs given by our esteemed speaker, we will now have a poll. So the poll will happen in a different way. Now I will be sharing the link for the poll. Ma'am, you can share this in the YouTube, ma'am. You can share this in the YouTube. And this poll is for a limited number of participants. The other participants, if you're unable to access this poll, I will send you another link shortly. Ma'am, kindly check whether the link is accessible for the poll. Is the link working? Is the link working, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is working.
Very good, ma'am. I will share my screen. So I am sharing my screen. So the polling is happening. And for those who are unable to join this poll, I will share with you. Yes, you can log into menti.com. Please log into menti.com, MENTICOM, MENTICOM. Just type MENTICOM in your mobile phones. Please take your mobile phones and type MENTICOM, menti.com, and use the code 2617296. Use the code 2617296. This is a live poll, so you can participate in this live poll. Yes, we are getting responses. Please open up menti.com, menti.com, and use the code 2617296. The other poll is also going on. And we are getting responses from the participants. Please type menti.com and use the code 2617296. We have various questions like the NEP 2020 as a provision where the students not only learn but more importantly learn how to learn. NEP 2020 provides an opportunity to bridge the gap between the current state of learning outcomes and what is required. NEP 2020 can provide complete autonomy for higher education institutions. NEP 2020 focus on regular formative assessment for learning rather than summative assessment that encourages coaching culture. NEP 2020 envisions curriculum, pedagogy, assessment, and student support as the cornerstones for quality learning. NEP 2020 provides the thrust area for CBCS and urge higher education institutions to move away from high-stake examination towards more continuous comprehensive examination. NEP 2020 has a provision to take care of students from socio-economically disadvantaged background. NEP 2020 provides the necessary freedom to faculty to design their own curricular and pedagogical approaches. NEP provides less scope for research. NEP 2020 puts a lot of stress on the teaching learning evaluation process. Dear participants, kindly take up this poll. If you're unable to access this link, you can join us with menti.com, menti.com, using the code 2617296. And the next question for those who have joined in menti.com, NEP 2020 provides an opportunity to bridge the gap between the current state of learning outcomes and what is required. Join with us in menti.com and use the code 2617296. You can also use the link given in the chat box to join in this poll. Please provide your valuable answers because we want to hear from you. This NEP 2020 can move forward only after properly understanding the various policy things and the various important ideas given in the policy. It requires a lot of insight that we need to go through this policy again and again and understand it, and then try to implement. I will post the codes for the various polls, and you can poll it. So this is the next question. NEP 2020 can provide complete autonomy for higher education institutions. I'm posting the code in the chat box. Use the second code to answer this. NEP 2020 can provide complete autonomy for higher education institutions. And the next question is, NEP 2020 focuses on regular formative assessment for learning rather than summative assessment that encourages coaching culture. So we have a lot of responses here for our poll. We have around 20 responses. You can even discuss these questions during the question and answer session. And you can come out with your queries with the experts. Yes, ma'am. I think we can start the next session, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I call upon Dr. Rajachitra Manivannan, Assistant Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship Evening, to introduce the speaker for session 2. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Very good morning to all of you. It is a profound honor and privilege to introduce our resource person for the second session, CA Dr. Gopal Krishna Raju. He is an eminent accounting and auditing professional, an outstanding orator, and a pillar of motivation to accountants, to scores of students and professionals. Hailing from a family of chartered accountants, he has a rich experience as a chartered accountant, company secretary, cost and management accountant, insolvency professional, and registered valuer. Dr. G.K. Raju has served 3 consecutive terms as Southern India Regional Council member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Dr. GKR, as he is popularly known, was awarded an honorary doctorate in Governance of GST in Government Sector by St. Mother Teresa University, Melbourne, Australia. He has penned 2 books on standard costing and variance and information technology, an exemplary role model to both students and professionals in his intrinsic knowledge of tax laws and a broad spectrum of subjects. Dr. GKR personifies the valuable ideology that learning is a continuous process. The list of additional qualifications include MPhil in management, twin PG diploma programs in operations research and financial management, 8 NSE certifications, and international trade laws. To my knowledge, the lockdown has been the busiest time for Dr. GKR as he has been addressing numerous webinars almost every day on both professional topics as also on curriculum and education. A public speaker par excellence, teaching is his passion. Dr. GKR has been an integral part of prominent committees, boards, and councils, to name a few: Chairman, Valuation Board, Finance and Taxation Panel member of FICCI, academic councils, and boards of studies of several prestigious institutions, including our own college. Sir, we now look forward to your valuable, thought provoking inputs on the national education policy from the perspective of institutions and parents.
Very good morning, madam. I must say we are almost close to afternoon, and kindly ensure that I don't go beyond the time that has been given to me, but I'll stick to the timeline. We are now almost 11:45. I'll take maximum 40 to 45 minutes, not more than that. So I'll first try to share my screen. Once again, very good morning to one and all, especially to the Principal Captain Dr. S. Santosh Babu and Head in Charge Dr. K. Kalpana Devi evening, and Head of the Department Day Dr. Prabha Rajagopalan, and Coordinator of IPSC Dr. Agustin Arul Prasad, and Professor D. Prem Kumar and Dr. Rajachitra, and my co-speaker from Pune, Amcha Manoj Pune ka Manoj, Maharashtra Manoj Gaurav Pingle. So thank you very much, Company Secretary Gaurav Pingle, for that very nice way of presenting the National Education Policy 2020. And we are presently on a very important phase, because maybe last month when we would have spoken about national education policy, it was not at, it was only in the draft stage and it was only presented. But today the entire cabinet has approved the national education policy, waiting for implementation with the respect to state government. This is a 65-page document with 4 parts, 27 paragraphs with 115 abbreviations. And I wish each and every one of the parent, as well as the teacher, student, and most importantly, the educational institution. I am very, very keenly, because my topic is to deliberate on the role of the education institution. Very important. So especially all the philanthropists, correspondents, principal, everybody must read line by line, word by word, page by page this national education policy, and I will be highlighting to the extent possible. Even though I've been introduced as a chartered accountant and chairman of the Valuation Standards Board, I must make one observation note to all of you, that I am a teacher basically, and my majority of my career, I have been a teacher teaching courses right from degree to post-graduation to professional level. So this presentation I'll be doing as a teacher. I repeat, as a teacher, as a parent. So my son is in the 10th standard now. So as a teacher, as a parent, what is the expectation by the parents as well as an education institution? And I must say, I have moved with many education institutions, small till large, as an advisor, as an auditor, and also as a faculty member, and with very many roles for many years. So I'm sure I can empathize and also understand the scenario which the institutions have been put to. So directly, let me go into the main, very important point. I want to observe one important point to all of you. What is it? This national education policy has not been taken from clouds. It has been in a consultative process. 9 months, the entire the process, suggestions were invited through mygov.in. 6 months, physically the interaction and consultative process have happened in Gram Panchayat blocks and urban local bodies and districts. 484-page draft national education policy in 2019 itself it came. Even though it is available as a document for free download, you can just download it. It is available in all the 22 official languages of India, including an audiobook. So with all this backdrop, we have this document today before us, which has been approved by the cabinet. I will directly go into, even though the UN goals, UN Sustainability Development Goals, 17 goals, please look at the fourth goal. Please look at the fourth goal, quality education. So this is the objective. The entire NEP speaks only about one word. Whoever may be, teacher, student should expect quality education. Teacher should deliver quality education. Parents, as a matter of right, should only ask for quality education for their wards. And higher education institution and school institution, they must deliver only quality education. So this is the objective of this entire NEP. And focusing on this, let me take you to the first point. Especially from the higher educational institution. Now, when I speak about higher education institution, who are they? Institutions who offer UG, PG, okay, research institution, IIT, IIMs, professional bodies, and especially engineering, technology, management, architecture, town planning, pharmacy, hotel management, catering technology, all these institutions. Today, these institutions are fragmented. I must say, these institutions are fragmented. And one of the main purpose of national education policy is, no, it must be brought as a multidisciplinary educational and research institute. It's called MERU, M-E-R-U, MERU, Multidisciplinary Educational and Research Institution. So, no, this is only arts college, this is only science college, this is only that college. No. University should be multidisciplinary. And the minimum number of students in a college, they have numbered it not less than 3,000. It should be not less than 3,000. So each of this will aim for to have 3,000 or more students. So moment any education institution, maybe cities, it is not an issue. They have 5,000, 4,000, 6,000 and all. But outskirts, they have 800, 900, 1,000 fragmented. So all these have to be consolidated, or they should have multidiscipline so that more students, they come there. So first point, what I want to share with all the education institutions, maybe I want to speak from an education institution's perspective. Pro, I am not anti any education institution. Pro education institutions, I'm making the first point here is, let's make our institution multidisciplinary. Of course, we want to have specialization. Specialization institution can't make. It is only depending on the teachers. And with best teachers, specialization will automatically come. But universities, education institution, objective should be multidisciplinary. Specialization depends on teachers. I repeat, specialization depends on teacher, not on institution. Institution will say we specialize. Where is the teachers, special teachers, the quality teachers? Quality teachers only make the educational, what do you call it as the subject specific, or the, what do you call, the domain specialist. So this is the first point. Now, I want to start with the second point. So my first point is multidisciplinary. Second point is online and digital education. This is there in para number 24, ensuring equitable use of technology. I want to make this point very clear to all the education institutions. What is it? Parallelly, we must have, for example, let me make this point very clear. 1st April 2020. 1st April 2020, they have brought, the madam has mentioned it very clearly, that we will allocate 97,200 crores. See the size of the money. 97,200 crores for online full-time degree courses, where 100 education institutions will be listed across the country, and who are for norms and all. And presently, the 2020, they have brought a new regulation. Please look at the new regulation here. You will be actually surprised. And silently, the UGC has brought the 2020 regulations. Please look at this. This is the University Grants Commission open and distant learning programs, online open and distant learning programs, and online programs 2020. Very silently they have brought this. Very silently. Please look at this. They already brought this. UGC regulations 2020. Recently it has been brought. This new regulation has come. So let me tell you what is that particular date, 2020. This is that regulation. New regulation has been brought up. Please look at this. Already it has come. Swayam came in 2016 and 2018 when regulation came. And this is the new regulation which actually was brought out. Please look at this date. What is the date? And all these things have come. 4th September 2020. Silently this regulation has come. Silently. What is the University Grants Commission Open and Distance Learning Regulation 2017 and University Grants Commission Online Courses or Program 2018? Both has been brought together into the University Grants Commission Open and Distance Learning Program and Online Programs Regulation 2020. We have a Swayam regulation. The Swayam regulation still is there because that is a separate platform. So silent revolution has already started. And unless and otherwise education institutions, they focus on online and digital education parallel. Once upon a time, now it is not there. Once upon a time, there was a craze for distance education. Even today, distance education will be rechristened as online and digital education. That is what it is, 2020. And already Swayam and Diksha. Why education institutions you don't promote Swayam and Diksha? Diksha is for the school education and Swayam is for the higher education. 1,600 courses. I repeat, it is 1,600 courses, swayam.gov.in. And there is a very clear mandate. There is a very, very clear mandate. I want to make this point very clear that UGC Swayam regulation. They made this mandate very clear. I must say that this is the credit framework for Swayam. Here, there is a very clear mandate. And what is that mandate? That mandate, I'll just show you that particular paragraph. Please look at this paragraph. Credit mobility. The parent institution shall give equivalent credit weightage to student. Show me the education institution the guts for education institution to give credit for the MOOC courses. Why not the education institution give credit? What do you mean by credit? When an equivalent course is completed in Swayam platform, that to Government of India, Ministry of then HRD, now Ministry of Education, why the equivalent subject should not be given credit? What do you mean by credit? He need not write the examination. Please promote it. Why the education institution should not promote it? And it is there in Regulation 6 very clearly. The parent institution shall give the equivalent credit weightage to the students for the credits earned through online learning courses through Swayam platform in the credit plan of the program. No university shall refuse any student for a credit mobility for the courses earned through MOOC. Now, currently, education institutions are not giving promote. It is like a parallel private course. Okay, go and do it. How the students will have interest? Students will have interest only when you connect the result with your mark sheet. In the mark sheet, you must give parallelly. If you complete that particular course, here there is an exemption. That should be brought in. That should be brought in. And none of the education institution, you have a vision. You have a vision. And I must tell you, all the education institutions, guys, very important, principals for that matter, correspondence for that matter, secretary for that matter, think for a while. This is supporting the government, number one. Number two, your number of courses gets widened. Number two. Number three, the credibility what your institution will get is awesome. Number four, the kind of recognition the student will get in the open market, because along with your institution, he has got a Government of India certificate also. Why not the institution is not having that bigger thought, open mind to encourage Swayam-based courses? You mean to say Swayam-based courses are most inferior? Please look at the people who are behind the Swayam-based courses, the national coordinators. Who are these national coordinators? All this AICTE, Consortium of Educational Communication, IIM Bangalore, IGNOU, NCRT, National Institute of Open Schooling, National Institute of Technical Teachers Training Institute, NPTEL, UGC. These are all the guys. And this is the biggest, I will say, a boon for the institution to actually integrate online and digital education. The first step. And one thing, I don't know how many of you, how many of the institution you have gone through this particular regulation. Very interesting, very interesting. What is to be noted is, if online and digital education are offered, two-way video and two-way audio interface for holding online classes, please note down that these institutions must use the platform of Swayam or Diksha or an equivalent platform which is built up, which will be costly for the institution. And all over the world, the virtual university concept are developing fast. And the days are not far off. There are institutions which already have got a very good name. Colleges who have got standing for at least 50, 60 years or 100 years. They will survive these competitions. Maybe hardly in every city 4 or 5, not more than that. But other institutions, they'll be totally washed away by this online and digital education wave. It is a tsunami. I'm telling you, this is a tsunami. And unless and otherwise you go along with the wave, go along with the current, and we only stand there, we'll be washed away. So this is point number one. Point number two, already. So point number two is the digital education. Point number three, must tell these guys, Indian language. Promotion of Indian languages, arts and culture. This paragraph, para 22.5, you must read. All of you must read. What is 22.5? Please, I was very, very disappointed. I was very disheartened reading this. Indian languages lost over 220 languages in the last 50 years alone. And UNESCO has declared 197 Indian languages as endangered, including the official language. Few of the 22 official languages also endangered. Is endangered, for your kind information. And only English alone. For example, I'll tell you one interesting. Please look at this para. High quality program and degrees in translation interpretation. Today, you go to any foreign countries, interpreters are at high demand. Translators, interpreters are high demand. 1 hour, they will be charging $500. 1 hour. For 1 hour. For 2 hours or 3 hours, you need a translators and interpreters. You have to pay $1,000 for them. Interpreters are in great demand, but there is no courses. There is no courses. There is no high quality learning and print material. Textbooks are not there. Workbooks are not there. Videos, plays, poems, novels, magazines. Very pathetic. We only improve the English languages, not Indian languages. Tamil patti pesave matengirome. Tamil, the three mode of Indian language. Three mode of Indian language has been politicized. All of the people who are online today, more than 150 or 200 people, are all educated people. Don't go by what this politician speaks about. And all of you have come through the three language medium only. What is it? If you are in Tamil Nadu, you would have learnt Tamil as one language. You would have learnt another language, maybe Hindi, or if people are not comfortable with it, then they will have gone for any other language, plus English. 3 languages already there. And please look at the serial number 80, exemption notification number 12/2017 of the Goods and Service Tax Act, which says services by way of training or coaching in recreational activities and arts and culture. There is no GST. Arts and culture. How many of what is arts and culture is very, very, very wide. Dance, architecture, design, music, theatre, media, literature, museum activities, visual flows, forecasts. This has to be developed. Every Indian, every child has talent. Every child has talent. It has to be groomed. Who can groom it? School education institutions, higher education institutions. They only can groom it. Culture. In India, I know only one culture, agriculture. And as a husband, I know another culture called agriculture, AGREE culture with my spouse. These are the only 2 culture I know. But culture is a combination of belief, behavior, objects, not limited to language, custom, value, norms, the morals, rules, tools, technologies, products. It has to be brought out. And that is today foreign institutions, foreigners, they are attracted to India only because of arts and culture. And I want to tell you one very interesting statistics. As I go, I'll tell you some of the very, very interesting statistics. So promotion of Indian languages, and most important, high quality programs and degrees in translation and interpretation, arts, museum administration, archaeology, artifact conservation, graphic design, web design, within the higher education institution will also be created. Now, who can create it? Only institutions. The correspondents, the principals, the secretaries. You must think. It is money spinning. I will tell you as a chartered accountant, now I am telling you, not as a teacher. It's money spinning. No other institutions are doing it. Why not you do it? Why not the education institution think about it? Only one among very few will do it. But the biggest challenge, I'll tell you. Biggest challenge? The biggest challenge is severe scarcity. Severe scarcity of skilled language teachers. Skilled teachers. That is why I will tell you guys, please look at the para number 815. Very important para. I'm actually touched by this para. What is this? Teacher education. Teacher education has to be. This Swayam or Diksha platform, I must tell all the teachers first. Teachers, please don't take a teaching profession only because I don't get a salary there, I don't get a job here. Teaching profession is one of the most, I will say, the sought after profession in the next decade. Number one. Number two, quality teachers. If teachers are not quality, take my word, today I am telling, 19th of September 2020, I am telling this word, they'll be weeded out of the system. They'll be weeded out of the system unless the teachers, they upgrade themselves. The national education policy is very clear. Very clear. The teachers must be quality. That has been very clearly mentioned because the objective number 4 of the SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals, have made it very clear. It is quality education. And quality education is possible only by the high quality teachers. And that is why Swayam and Diksha, online platforms, people have to learn. People have to enroll. It is free also. Presently, Government of India, Ministry of Education is giving all these courses free. And you want a certificate only, you need to pay. How many of the teachers, they are upgrading themselves? Because so many are doing it. So many are doing it. I must also appreciate that segment of the teaching faculty also. But others don't whine on the system. COVID-19 virus is, I will see COVID-19 not as a virus, but as a God. As a God who has come and is cleaning the system, reminding us what is fundamental, and reminding us that you must give respect to nature. You must give respect to nature. And most importantly, exploitation henceforth can't happen. I must make this point very clear to all the higher education institutions. Please look at this. Please look at this. Transforming the regulatory system of education system. Para number 18. The entire para has to be read slow and steady. Govinda, existing system gone. They made it very clear. Regulatory system will be very strict henceforth. No. Let us do business in education. We'll form one society. We'll form one Section 8 company. We'll form one trust. Accounts will be within us only. We need not actually publish the accounts. Wrong. The moment it is a public charitable trust, who said their accounts you can keep it confidential? That is the point they have actually touched it. Very smart move. These are the things the so-called politicians who want to keep your eyes closed with the black color cloth. They don't bring this out. Education institution henceforth who are not for profit. Please look at this. There will be a transparent public disclosure. Very important. You mean to say Indian accounting standard is only applicable for corporates? Who said India is applicable for corporates? No? It is also will be brought in for non-corporates. Number 2, how many of you know the Income Tax Act has been amended by bringing in a section called 12AB, 12 capital A, capital B, where all the trust, all the societies, all the non-profit organizations should enroll themselves online. If they don't do it, the registration cancelled. Damal. The moment registration cancelled, all their licenses will be cancelled. And what is it? Purpose is, and through this national education policy, all their financial statement will be made open. Today, public companies, the financial statements, you take it, you compare. Are you giving your balance sheet to a public? No, we are not giving. We keep it only within us. No, it is not possible. 18.12 para, all the education institution must read word by word. Please look at this. Surpluses, if any, will be reinvested in education sector. How? There will be a norms. There will be a rules. Many doesn't know what will happen in future. There are a lot of plans. Education system is going to be revamped. You know what will be the best thing that will happen? Privately managing a institution will be more costly. Slowly people will go for what do you call it as the real part of the non-commercialization of education. Yes, we have earned from the students, we'll give it back to the students. Such mentality, such institution only can survive. Huge acres, 200 acres. I will conduct my own entrance test. I will conduct my own what do you call it as a method of administration. Everything gone. Everything has gone for a toss now. Now, henceforth, what is for the public, it will go for the public. So that is what it is. Please look at the multiple mechanism with checks and balances. The system is going to totally revamp. So educational hub, education, what do you call it as? He is called the Kalvi Tandai. He is called the Kalvi King. He is called the Education King. All gone henceforth to Govinda. Now all will come back only when what you have taken from the society, if you give it back to the society, then only it is possible. Regulatory system of higher education. Please look at this para. They are going to bring 4 verticals with 4 separate regulators with an umbrella regulator. Who's the umbrella regulator? Higher Education Commission of India. will be an umbrella regulator. Below that, 4 regulators will be there. One is for the first vertical will be for regulation, National Higher Education Regulatory Council. Okay, whom should be given the license. Second will be, the vertical will be a meta accrediting body, which will be called as National Accreditation Council. The third, nowadays, the accreditation also will be given by one body, funding also will be given by the same body, everything is linked. Now this de-linked, funding separate, accreditation separate. Please be very careful. And what do you call it as the norms will be given by a separate regulation. The regulator will give us norms alone. Accrediting body will only check whether the norms is there and will give the accreditation. So accreditation only will give the norms. Accreditation body only give the accreditation. Accreditation body only will give the funding. Why? Everything they have delimited. They have understood this properly. Even then, people will think otherwise. But by delinking this, there will be multiplicity of powers, and therefore the transparency will be brought in. Transparency will be brought in documentation. So documentation will be given. Okay, one table to another table, it has everything is now will become online. So therefore, the what do you call it as the corruption, the rampant corruption will be minimized to the core. Will be minimized. So in income tax department, faceless assessment has come. In regulatory system of higher education, they have brought in 4 verticals. So totally they have changed it. Totally. And there is a 4th vertical called General Education Council, which will frame the syllabus, which will frame the curriculum. You can even suggest it to them for any new curriculum. So that is with respect to para number 18. Now I'll come to the para number 17. All of you must understand, this is the sorry state of India. Sorry state. Okay, after 12th I will go for UG, after UG I will go for PG, after PG I will go for worker. What is this? In India, 0.69% of the money is only invested in innovation. What is the size of our country? What is the size of South Korea? Can South Korea population can match India? Please look at on the GDP how much money is spent for research and development. Here, if will any student will prefer to go for research? No. I don't want to go for research. I will go for Ashok Leyland. I will go for Reliance. I will go for this. Why is research a very poor job? Research associate, research fellow, so a scientist. So people, they don't have that. And even I must tell the parents also. Parents are the most. My son is an engineer working in so-and-so company. These parents, you must actually have the thinking very broad. And of course, parents' thinking will come very broad only when the system changes. So automatically, so both are actually dependent. So one is dependent on the other. So the moment these kind of opportunities are opened up, parents also will be encouraging their kids rather than because today the research outside India is more lucrative than research in India. I'll tell you something very interesting. In accounting, research is there. An Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has promoted a Section 8 company called Accounting Research Foundation. You'll be surprised. The opening salary in Accounting Research Foundation, they are offering per month salary 2 lakhs, per annum salary 24 lakhs. My God, and the poor, the newly young qualified chartered accountants, they don't want to do research. Pathetic. Because they think research means it is very inferior job. Absolutely absurd. And I must also tell the reason for teachers also. Teachers are also equally the culprit here. The teachers have to say, okay, once you complete it, go to that campus, this campus. Why is research such an inferior thing? Please look at this para. Catalyzing quality academic research in fields through a new National Research Foundation. In America, it is 4.3%. We can't even match with that. These countries, they can't match their population with us, our GDP with them, but they are more in percentage with respect to research, which is pathetic. Please look at this. And para 17.10, they made it very clear that there will be a body called National Research Foundation. And this body, I must tell you guys, this body, currently what and all funding has been already done, they will continue to do it, but there will be an umbrella body which will oversee and jointly, so various private and philanthropic will continue to independently fund research according to their priorities and needs. And NRF will be governed independently of the government by a rotating board of governors, okay, consisting of very best researchers, innovators across fields. So NRF is going to actually create such a craze for research in our country. And my dear education institution, founding members, secretaries, principals, and correspondents, please understand that research has to be given equal importance after post-graduation. And especially, research should not be an appity-tuppeny research. And research from that particular institution means there is a quality in it. There is an innovation in it. And for a kind innovation, today innovation is recognized by Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, by entrepreneurship. With the huge funds lying there. How much funds? 100 crore funds are lying, and out of that 10 crores will be given for each and every institution. Why not institutions? You lay hands on that and then encourage youngsters to do research. Pathetic. So this is the point I want to share with you in this forum also. Next very important point, after research, I want to make this on vocational education. Very, very, very important, guys. So, வாழ்க்கை Kalvi in Tamil Sonna, okay. And vocational education, I want to give this again a pathetic statistic, very, very pathetic statistics. So, because vocational education, okay, this guy is a very poor guy, very poor marks. He should only go for vocational education. Why? His vocation is such a, today, engineers, electrical engineers, they are qualified, but they don't have the education to actually change a bulb, to repair a fan, okay, to repair an electric circuit. I only call an electrician. So then what is the purpose of education? And Sati Sai Baba said this very clearly, education must be wisdom oriented, not money oriented, not certificate oriented, not mark sheet oriented, not placement oriented, not what is my opening salary oriented. Okay, vocational education is going to actually change, and higher education institutions, especially, you must understand, you must integrate. I repeat, please look at this. In service, please look at para 15.10, which I want to make this point very clear. This is teacher education. And they have made this point very clear that by 2025, at least 50% of the learners through school and higher education shall have exposure to vocational education. Okay, vocational. And this will be, and this point has also been mentioned by my co-speaker, Gaurav Pingle. Gaurav Pingle also made this point very clear. And I have another 10 more minutes to share my thoughts, and I will be open for many questions. So, I want to make this point very clear, that integration of courses. No, henceforth, you want dance, you want drama, you want singing, you want tailoring, you want beautician course, photography course, okay, wildlife photography course. Oh, that you do it separately. Where is the, unless another higher education institutions, guys, you bring a curriculum, you design it, and as I told you, that fourth vertical, General Education Council, you recommend to that particular General Education Council, they will actually accept your curriculum. They will actually accept your curriculum. I must take you to this Ruma Roca. Please look at Ruma Roca. She actually, please look at this, Ruma Roca. This lady, she actually has trained 4,500 youth so far. And she has got the amazing Indian award from our Pradhan Mantri. Okay, and what she did, she designed a curriculum. Nowhere it is there in India. What? Curriculum for teaching the teachers. Those teachers who will teach specially abled children. And she can speak very well and she can hear very well. But She wants to create a curriculum for teachers, to train the teachers, those who can teach the deaf and dumb. And her society is called as National Deaf Society. And remember, guys, these 4,500 teachers are trained professionals. They are well placed now, and there is a great demand for it. And employers, for your kind information, they want teachers who can't speak, who can't hear. They will only do the instructions properly. And of course, in all segments, they need people like that. It's a very, very interesting thought. Innovation in education. Innovation in education. And she did it 10 years back, for your kind information. So, reimagining vocational education in every field, gardening, okay, painting, every skill is very important. So, culinary skills, every skill, today life skill. So, today, what do you say? You need good food, okay, you need to keep your environment clean. So, there is you clean the car, people are ready to pay 500 rupees for one time you clean the car. So just imagine, in a day you clean 10 cars, you can earn 5,000 rupees. 5,000 rupees in one day, even an ordinary guy cannot earn. Okay, whether a degree or a postgraduate can't earn per day 5,000. His salary will be only 20,000 or 30,000, that too at the peak. Per day he can earn 5,000 rupees just by cleaning car. You need to innovate. So today that is the modern world which is expecting skills. So it is not the education that matters. We have a taboo in our country. What is the taboo? Oh, I am educated, I will not go and do this kind of job. There is no job that is called menial. There is no job that is called menial. And the Martin Luther King, the past president of the United States of America, he said, you must do a work so well, that here lived a street sweeper who swept the street so well, like how the Beethoven has composed the music. Okay, like how the Beethoven has composed this music, like how the very famous artist has drawn a painting. So like that, here lived a street sweeper who swept the streets so well. So any work has to be given that much respect. That our parents also must understand. No, this is a very, very ugly job. No, don't do it. Our parents also must have that thinking. So I am telling parallelly to parents also. Equally responsible is parents. Equally responsible. Okay, good. Now, next is I want to make one more observation. The last observation is with respect to so I will go to this point I already discussed. This point also I discussed. Yeah. I want to make this part very clear. There is a para number 24.4. In that, one point I already discussed. That is, with respect to digital education, I made one point that online teaching platform and tools. And apart from this, there are other things that also are there. Virtual labs. Virtual lab. See, today, I need to actually, it is not only the session is over by a teacher teaching this. After that, there's a lot of, what do you call it, as exercises has to be done online. So online assessment, examinations, virtual labs so that people can go and practice. So this education system is a new normal, which the higher education institution must understand. Yes, the crazes henceforth will not be for a physical education. That is actually gone. And slowly it will come down. Of course, for certain special kind of subjects, it will be there. Still, they have to come to in-campus. So in-campus learning will be brought to some specialized topics. But for general topics, it will slowly move to online education and digital education. So this, the what do you say, the higher education institutions must realize and understand the potential for future. And I'm not saying this out of an emotional outburst, but I'm saying this that those institutions who understand this, they can actually will be able to encash the craze and encash the requirement. And the change is everything. They say change is the only thing that is permanent. And COVID-19 has proved it. COVID-19 has proved it. So the traditional way of teaching, I also belong to the blackboard and the chalk piece way of teaching. Even today I love to be like the teacher only, but the things are changing. So where, for example, today I teach like that only to my kids, to my son, to my family, all the family kids. I only teach in that mode. So that kind of a mode has been now brought to a very smaller level. So it cannot be institutionalized. To some extent only it can be institutionalized. So that is the place where pilot studies has to be done. And this, who can do it? The institutions only can do it in association with the government. So, and of course, NETF, CIET, National Institute of Open Schooling, IGNOU, IIT, NIT, they have been mandated to do this. And higher education institution joining partnership with these kind of agencies, you'll be in a position to actually leverage your institution to the next, I will say, decade, or to the next 40, 50 years of the educational requirement. Okay, the need for the requirement in future. So that is what I want to conclude at the last. And before I conclude, I want to make one important observation, that the implementation of this entire policy lies in the hands of the institutions, parents, teachers. Of course, the state governments will implement it, but the real implementation can only be done with the help of these three people. So institutions, parents, and teachers. And all of them have to realize this. And my request to the college, so BG Vaishnav College, I must thank from the bottom of my heart for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my thoughts on the national education policy, especially from the perspective of an institution and also from the parents. So this is actually a clarion call to both of them, that if they realize that this is not a threat for them, but this is only a calling that yes, you need to actually upgrade. You need to actually make your thinking a little bigger, so that opportunities are gold mine. I will not say gold mine, it's a diamond mine. It's a diamond mine. So with this, I thank Dr. Rajchitra and Dr. Prabha Rajagopalan, Dr. Kalpana Devi, and Captain Dr. S. Santosh Babu for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my thoughts. So over to organizers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your bombarding speech and bringing us a new dimension about the NEP on the perspective of institution and parents. To mention one thing, DG Vaishnav College, we are proud to mention that DG Vaishnav College has already started promoting students to enroll themselves in SWAYAM platforms, and we are giving credits for them also. I just wanted to mention that. And now I call upon Dr. T. Agustin Arul Prasad, IQAC coordinator, to sum up the highlights of NEP.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a wonderful presentation and very thought-provoking and very clear. I think all the participants would have felt the same. To sum up the talk given by the two distinguished speakers, the national education policy, when it was introduced, and it was very widely deliberated across the academic forum during the past 1 year. And even in our college, we had two deliberations where a lot of academicians participated, and there were a lot of pros and cons, and many highlighted the advantages and disadvantages of this policy. Now, as far as the first speaker is concerned, we as an academician, we are more concerned about the curriculum, because the present curriculum is outdated, as we all know, and we are forced to take up the curriculum to the next level that can match our societal needs. As clearly pointed out by the speaker, the curriculum needs to be revamped, and the new education policy gives us a lot of scope in designing our own curriculum. And it also emphasizes on the fact that the curriculum has to be designed on CBCS pattern, where a lot of flexibility will be made available for the students to learn variety of subjects. And apart from the curriculum, the speaker also pointed out on the role of faculty. The freedom that is given to faculty in this NEP 2020 is amazing, where the faculty can create their own pedagogical tools, and they can create their own curriculum framework, and it provides enormous freedom for the faculty members to make this happen as far as the curriculum is concerned. And it also provides a lot of scope for online and digital education for the students. As pointed out by the second speaker, the so-called distance education has been rechristened as digital education or online education right now. And there are a lot of platforms like Swayam, Coursera, and so many platforms are there where our students are taking up, as mentioned by ma'am. Even in our college, there are thousands of students who are doing their courses in Swayam platform. And one major concern with respect to this online and digital education is digital divide. As we all know right now, where the online classes are happening throughout the country, we need to understand to what an extent this online technology has reached the grassroots villages. So still India is digitally divided, and we have to accept the fact, and we need to focus on this area where every student in each and every corner of the country gets this digital technology and make the learning happen to even the single person from the corner of this country. And as far as the promotion of Indian language is concerned, yes, the NEP 2020 gives us a lot of scope to learn multiple languages, but at the same time giving due credit to the sentiment and cultural heritage of the respective region. Now, as far as the language part is concerned, it is a shocking truth, and that India do not have so many language teachers. It has to be well understood by the academicians. India, actually, it has to be, we need to understand that there is a disturbing problem in our teacher-student ratio. NEP 2020 clearly points out that the learning should happen in the mother tongue, but we do not have qualified teachers who can teach the children in the mother tongue, and the fundamental requirement is to increase the teacher student ratio, which will be the foundation of the entire process. And the mother tongue as a medium of instruction will be a major problem in the present scenario, because we have a very large problem in the teacher student ratio, especially qualified teachers. And as far as the three language system is concerned, as rightly pointed out by the second speaker, many of us have learned three languages. Even I myself has learned three languages: Tamil, English, French, and a little bit of Hindi. So it is already there in our society, and therefore we need to encourage our children. We should not force, but we need to encourage our children to learn more than three languages so that they become competent. As rightly pointed out by the second speaker, there is a lot of scope for translation works. There are a lot of scope for communication experts. So we need to have a wide versatility of knowledge in the languages. And as far as the skilled teachers are concerned, today, again, I would like to stress on the point, as currently pointed out by the second speaker, the skilled teacher is in deficit. So we need to improve the quality of the teachers, thereby improving the quality of the education. So quality of the teachers can be improved through necessary qualification and providing platforms for the teachers. There are plenty of scope, there is plenty of platform available for the teachers to improve their quality, to get qualified. And the new education policy 2020 is the best platform, I would say, for all the teachers to improve their quality. As far as the regulatory system is concerned, as the second speaker rightly pointed out, it has been made into an umbrella, and there are four verticals where The regulations are given by NHERC, and accreditation is done by the NAC, and the funding is done by the Higher Education Grants Council, and the policies are given by the General Education Council. So it becomes very simple for an higher education institution to go for accreditation, to get their curriculum framework approved, and to get the accreditation and to get the funding. So it becomes very easy for the higher education, and it prevents the waiting of files in a particular table. So total transparency has been envisaged in making this happen. And again, the second speaker pointed out about the National Research Foundation. It is really pathetic to observe that our India has not scored much in this area, because we are yet to start our research, and we are not giving very good research papers, and we are not producing patents. So I hope that this National Research Foundation can provide a platform for the young researchers to go forward in their research career. And as far as the vocational education concerned, it is rightly pointed out that we need to concentrate on vocational education, where even a student, a graduating student from an engineering college or a medical college or even an arts and science college, should be provided with a vocational education, so that even if he is not able to, even if he does not get a job based on his degree, he can use this vocational education as a tool to earn his bread throughout his life. So vocational education has to be given more importance as it is given in the other countries. We need to promote this vocational education, and that pathway is clearly given in the national education policy. And I have my own concern on the entrance test for colleges, because today there is a lot of issues going on the entrance test. Well, entrance test is a way by which you can enter into higher education, but at the same time, it should not deprive the opportunity for the economically backward sections, and it should not deprive the opportunity for really students who are willing to pursue their higher education. So very cautious attempt has to be made as far as the entrance test for colleges is concerned. So on a nutshell, this NEP 2020 has to be well understood by the academicians. It has to be well conceptualized by visionaries, and it has to be well implemented by the faculty, and it has to be well taken by the students. So, both these speakers are given us a lot of inputs on the NEP 2020. NEP 2020 will surely make a revolutionary change in our country, and we are looking forward for it. And thank you very much. I personally thank both these speakers for making this to happen and giving us all the insights on the NEP 2020. And thank you very much. And it's over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. T. Agustin Arul Prasad, IQAC Coordinator of DG Vaishnav College, for summing up the highlights of FDP. Now the floor is open for interaction. There is a question from the participant. Is the government allocating more funds for encouraging research? As you said, in research, our country is in pathetic situation, sir.
So the question is for whom?
Sir, you can, sir. GKR, sir.
Yeah, actually, funds are there. For example, even in Accounting Research Foundation and in Institute of Company Secretaries of India, they also have a research foundation. And ICMA also, they have a research foundation. And Ministry of Skill and Entrepreneurship, they have announced as for research funding is there. The only requirement is the research should be unique, and innovation should be there, and original thinking should be there. So therefore, funding is never an impediment for research. It is only the process. People only see the result, not the process. As Mahendra Singh Dhoni mentioned, they don't see the result. So he made a helicopter shot which became world popular. But to bring that helicopter shot, he has to practice for that many number of years to bring that fine tuning. So the same is with respect to research also. People only focus on the result, not on the process. People have to be very patient, collect data, and today the plagiarism they don't think that plagiarism is such a negative word. No. I will copy it. The taking a photocopy of a copyrighted material, they think that it is right to copy, not that it is a copyrighted material. So that the culture should be brought in, and a very, very important role is to be paid by teachers and institution, not to actually take photocopies of books, not to share the original textbooks in digital format. They should be encouraged only to buy. So until that culture is being imbibed, research will only see the pathetic face. Research will only see the pathetic face. Youngsters only can change this nation, and youngsters should realize this. An institution, teachers, and the parents together only can make this change. Today, people just like that, they share the textbooks in WhatsApp. That is wrong. That is wrong. That is not the right approach. That is not at all the right approach. So until that realization is there, research will never see the good times in the future. Next question.
Yeah, sir, can I contribute one point, sir? Yes, sir. I feel once students are out of social media, and when they understand that reading book is more important than reading a post, that time research mind will start developing. Because if we see till 1990 or 2000 or 2005, we had very good movies, books, content, and everything. And now, if you see, after social media has come up and taken place, it has changed the world, and everything is in 4 lines. Everything, one photo, 4 lines, one photo, 4 lines. And if you see movies like Sholay or anything beyond that, it was so, you were so engrossed even now, because there was no social media, there was no disturbance, because research was very intensive. So I feel that what sir has rightly said, we have to bring students to the right path so that they develop.
एक चांगला point एक बोलता है, एक point बोलता है. See, there's like you have a censorship for viewing the film. Today, censorship is not there for the web series. Where is the censor for web series? Similarly, we must have censorship for the sharing of content in digital media. But there will be so who can bring that censorship? It is only by virtues, culture, tradition, practice. That only is the censorship. In our India, which is censorship? The dharma is censorship, and that should be broadened. Moral classes which you and I attended for 1 hour in our school for every week, where is that moral classes today? It is not there. And where is the grandma stories, and below that there will be a moral? Where is that? It should be taught in every class. And that is what the teachers also must realize. And only the moral values, only the cultures, only bringing the traditions back. That is what I call it as the policing or the way of censorship. Next question.
Yeah.
What about extracurricular activities like sports? If everything goes online, how will students pursue their passion and dreams? See, a very nice point, Mr. Bharat, you have brought it. See, there are certain things, I mentioned even this point also, that not everything you can bring it in online. There are certain sessions you need to have it, what do you call it as physical classes. So similarly, like arts, culture, dance, drama, archaeology, architecture, many things. For example, lab, how can you do it online? You need to go to lab only and you need to mix it, and then only what do you say, CaCO3 plus H2O, then only NaCl will come. Then only calcium will come, then hydrogen will come. So by writing it, I will know what it is, ratta marenge. But experimenting only, you will realize what it is. Doing once is equivalent to reading 3 times or 5 times. So I am totally with Bharat. So this is where the para number, I repeat, the para number 24.4a speaks about it. What should be brought in digital education? I repeat, definitely sports and all, physical education. How can you be culinary education? For example, how can you teach cooking? So maybe you can see YouTube and you can make paratha, but YouTube paratha taste and your paratha taste both may not be same. It is only by the practice, the pinch of salt, even you make an extra, taste will change. Only by practice it will come. So I agree with you. So we need to use digital only for certain purpose. What is that purpose? Is what education institution and the SOPs has to actually make it clear. It will be brought in. Next question.
Gauravji, would you like to add up something?
Yeah, actually, I feel this work from home and whatever we are going through right now, COVID is just a time being phase. Once everything is normal, we will have colleges, physical colleges. It is just a stopgap arrangement that we are having. We cannot have work from home permanent because there is no interaction, there is no growth, there is no so it is good. Yeah.
Throw some light on reservation process and higher education in NEP 2020. Mr. Sivachandran, I am totally against reservation. I am only for one thing. If you are knowledgeable, you have to come up. That's all. The only reservation is your knowledge. Knowledgeable person should be given. So read, put your effort, hard work. That's all. No reservation. Right from teacher training and teacher placement, student training, student placement, no reservation. Why reservation? The only quality is Indian. That's all. No other reservation. I am not for reservation at all. Next question.
Yeah.
Gaurav sir, you would like to add up?
No, we can go to the next question. I fully agree with sir, and that is the right approach.
Why? What is NEET? Does NEET recommend you reservation? NEET doesn't recommend you reservation. NEET only says you must answer question what is asked. They will not ask you whether you are this caste or that caste. I am not for it. This only has killed our education system. Rotten system. Quality people should come up. Educate. That means quality teachers. Why reservation in university is required? Why reservation is required? Reservation is only for the quality education. If very good marks, very good delivery, he and she should be the teachers. Why reservation? That is not the right approach at all. Mr. Bharat, once again you are asking, you must allow others to do. How will students develop out-of-the-box thinking through this type of education? See, you are coming up with questions. So, you are able to now ask a question sitting from which place you are. I am from Chennai, Mr. Pingle is from Pune, and Bharat is from some other parts of the country, and you are able to interact. Which medium has given you this platform? Digital only. Digital has plus also. Digital has minus also. Only thing is, minus has to be within control. So therefore, out of the box thinking will automatically come. Next question.
Yeah, sir, just one point about out of box thinking. We should actually promote students to read and interact. That will promote out of box thinking. So reading means you will get author's perspective, and discussion will give you colleagues' perspective. That will promote out of box thinking. Like for example, now I've learned so many things from GKR sir. So it is interaction, and whatever I've read in the NEP policy is my thought. So I have gone 2 steps ahead from this session. Means myself, I have gone 2 steps ahead. So I feel this is how we have to develop out of box thinking.
Next question. Is our education system so bad? Who is this person? Prem Kumar. Sir, you are a professor. You shouldn't say like this. You must actually support the national education policy, and you must always say our system is the best. You and I, we have come through this education system only. You mean to say you and I are bad? No, we need improvement. We need improvement. If at all this system was there, I would have become chartered accountant 2 or 3 earlier. Mr. Pingle would have become a company secretary 2 or 3 years earlier. Our thinking would have been more visalam. Our thought process will be more better. So I only see in that perspective. Mr. Prem Kumar, no, we both are in the same platform. Next question, Jitendra Kumar. Does the No Child Left Behind Act really promote inclusive education? What is your opinion? Absolutely. Actually, the school education, what they are mentioning, that up to 5th standard, every child, it is right to education actually, every child should not be left over. I think that is a very, very good thought process, very good thought process. So it is not that to bring 100% literacy, how is it possible? We say Kerala is 100% literate 20 years back. How? Because of their thought process 40 years back, which was one of the very important strong communism policy. So every political ideology has plus and minus. Their political ideology had one plus point, very important plus point, and national education policy has that plus. And teachers, education institutions, professionals, parents, and students, together we have to join hands and say, yes, no child should be left behind. And most important, they say, my good friend Augustine made one point that mother tongue they should be taught. No, it is absolutely wrong. They don't say that mother tongue it should be taught. Any language which is local language, which is regional language, or mother tongue, pair, which is local. For example, Mr. Pingle will come to and he will stay in Chennai. Can he expect Marathi to be taught to him? No. For him, local language is Tamil. He has to learn Tamil. I will go to Maharashtra. I am a Tamilian, but I am a born Maharashtrian. I speak Marathi only at home. But I go there. Can I expect that? No, I want Tamil. No, it will not be possible. Local language / regional language / mother tongue. Absolute wrong message conveyed by politicians and the journalist, that mother tongue. What is mother tongue? What is mother tongue? It is absolute wrong. That is not correct actually. It is local language. Local language has to be given first preference. You are in Tamil Nadu, you won't learn Tamil means why? What is the purpose of being in Tamil Nadu? And Mr. Pingle is in Maharashtra. What is the purpose of staying in Pune without knowing Marathi? Fundamental is regional language. Next priority is national language. The next priority is international language. 3 language must. 3 language must. Every child must know this. Next question.
Yeah.
What reason about MPhil in higher education remove it course in NEP 2020? Mr. Tyagarajan Shankar, you know about this. Shall I tell you one fact? Which is very pathetic fact. Very pathetic fact. There are innumerable number. MPhil, there are funding which has been given by University Grants Commission, funding agencies for doing MPhil without completion. Funds have been withdrawn. I am a chartered accountant. I know this. What education institutions are doing. I don't want to name such education institution. Pathetically, this system has been rotten. Why MPhil is required? Directly do PhD. That is why they have made it 4 years. Undergraduate with research or postgraduate with research, directly go for PhD. Why MPhil is required? They have used MPhil to withdraw money unscrupulously in the name of education. Very pathetic, and I don't want to name that. Please Google it, you will know the answers. Next question. Can private colleges implement this policy NEP from bottom of their heart? Wonderful question, Sriram. I think this is wrong question to me and Pingle. Please ask this question to all the education institutions, correspondents, their president, secretary, and even you ask the same question to DG Vaishnav College secretary. Please ask this question. This is the question not for us. This is the question for every education institutions, the head of the institution. I am sure they only will correctly answer this. You have nailed it. Please ask this question to everybody. Okay, next question. Where is the next question? How will we, Bharat, again, back?
Bharat, yeah.
How will, you are becoming very popular, Bharat. Okay. You can give your phone number, email ID also, so that how will we become mentally strong through this system? Only when students have strong minds, both education as well as nation will develop. Be inspired. You hear the great, you hear what Vivekananda speech, you hear all the great Abdul Kalam speech, you will be inspired. Mentally, you will become strong. Why are you mentally very weak now? Don't think like that. It is absolute. It is absolute. And don't see the negative news in television. Okay, you watch 2020 match or the Dhoni's performance. You see, you will be inspired. Okay. Next.
Yeah, I think so. Reading our history will make us more strong.
Yeah, inspired.
Because our freedom fighters have gone through so much.
You must tell the name. Okay, please, please give the previous one.
Question from our IQAC coordinator.
Wherever possible, the medium of instruction until at least grade 5, but preferably up till grade 8 and beyond, will be in home language. Thereafter, respect. I am very sorry to say, once upon a time, the student used to approach Guru for education, but now Guru is approaching the student for admission. Can the situation change? Yes. NEP, if it is implemented, all this will change automatically. Next question.
Sir, question from IQAC coordinator. Local language can continue be taught as a language wherever possible. Can you please elaborate on this?
This is what I said. See, I am a Maharashtrian, but born and brought up in Chennai. My child knows Marathi, my child knows Tamil. But for work, I am migrated to Telangana. Say Karimnagar, I am migrated. There I am taking an admission for my son. Can I expect my mother tongue Marathi there? No. Can I expect my regional language, that is Tamil? No. What is local language? Telugu. That is why regional language / local language / mother tongue. Okay. But education institution there can prefer any of these three. So for example, they can say here Tamil medium also will. Now there is a taboo in the minds of parents. I must actually ask question to all the parents. Why you prefer your child to be taught only in English medium? English is only a medium, not it is only a method to actually learn the subject. That is not the end of it. Okay. So point to be noted that medium is only to ensure that student understands it. So whichever he is comfortable. So it is not that the medium has to be given as a pressure. No, we will only give this. This is one place where state government has to keep quiet, saying that institution, you take a call. In Tamil Nadu, if I run an education institution, I will prefer whichever language I want to give. I will open an institution with the Punjabi medium. Then all the Punjabis will come to me and their children will learn Punjabi medium here. So I can do very good business. This is the pathetic thinking in the minds of the politicians and the education institutions, that they are making this language as an unnecessary, galeej, unnecessary jamela. It is very, very simple. We have 22 official languages. Any language you can use actually to inculcate your the fundamental school education. Next question.
Sir, we can wind up the interactive session. Thank you so much, Gaurav sir and GKR sir for answering all the questions and clarifying all the doubts which were in the minds of the participant. Now I kindly request Dr. K. Monish Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship, Evening, to propose the vote of thanks.
A warm and grateful morning to everyone presented here. It's my privilege to propose vote of thanks. First of all, I thank Lord Almighty for making today's event a resounding success. I express my gratitude to the Secretary and the Principal, D.J. Vaishnav College, for their unstinted support and encouragement to conduct this program. On behalf of the Department of Corporate Secretaryship, Day and Evening, I am grateful to our Chief Guest, Mr. Gaurav Pingle, Session 1, and CA Dr. Gopal Krishna Raju, Session 2, who accepted our invitation and graced the occasion. Sir, your thoughts have enlightened our mind and has shown a new path. Thank you, sir. Further, my sincere thanks are due to Dr. Prabha Rajagopalan, Associate Professor and Head Day, Department of Corporate Secretaryship, and Dr. K. Kalpana Devi, Assistant Professor and Head in Charge Evening, Department of Corporate Secretaryship, who inspired and encouraged the staff at every stage of work. I place on record a special thanks to Dr. T. Agustin Arul Prasad, Coordinator, IQAC, for having coordinated with us in conducting this program. My sincere thanks are due to Dr. Rajachitra Manivannan, Assistant Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship, Evening, for having conceived the idea and bringing two eminent speakers for this FDP. I thank all the faculty members of the Department, Corporate Secretaryship, Day and Evening, and special thanks to Mr. D. Prem Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship, Day, for extending his support. I thank the students, Mr. N. Lokesh, third year, BCom, CS, Evening, C-section, for designing e-invite and e-certificate. Last but not least, a big thanks to all the participants who joined us in this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Monish. Dear participant, feedback link has been posted in the chat box. Kindly fill it up to receive e-certificate. Thank you.